Hey everyone, welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto Online video. Now in today's video, I want to teach you guys a car duplication glitch that will help you guys earn a lot of money very quickly. This thing can be done completely solo, but there are some requirements that are needed in order to actually get this glitch to work. So you do need an MOC. You do need an auto shop, and obviously you want a vehicle that you can go ahead and make a lot of money doing this with. Now I do highly recommend that you guys use a fully customized and decked out ISI if you guys want to be able to make the most amount of money, but it doesn't matter which car and vehicle that you guys want to go ahead and duplicate. Now as far as the MOC goes, if you guys don't have an MOC, or if you have one, you do need a personal vehicle storage. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys here on the internet where you guys need to do. So Warstack cash and carry, go down into the MOC, and then make sure that Bay 3 is the personal vehicle storage. Doesn't matter if there's currently something in there or not, because we're going to go ahead and send that to a garage just in case that you guys want to go ahead and do that. Now the next thing you guys do need is you do need an auto shop, and it does need to be completely full, so you guys can put whatever vehicles in there that you would like. You guys can order up some free elegies or whatever you guys need to do. If you guys are going to use the mechanic, it will take probably about 10 minutes if it's mostly empty in order to fill it back up, just because there is a little bit of a waiting time that you have to actually wait in order to use that mechanic feature every single time to get a personal vehicle delivered to you. So just keep that in mind. The hardest part about this entire duplication glitch is actually getting the setup all done, because you do need to make sure that your MOC is kind of parked how I have mine. You want the circles fairly close together, but they don't necessarily need to be touching, and we're going to get into that later on here in the episode as well. Now I do recommend ordering some elegies at any one of your locations. I've already taken the liberty of doing that at my arena, so I have some, and I'm also going to show you guys that this is actually working here right off the bat. So I can actually go ahead and go down to my mechanic, and all of my duplicates are actually being stored, or I've placed them currently in garage number 2. So you can see that this is actually currently working. I mean, there's no way that I would buy that many Future Shock ISIs. Come on, let's be realistic. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and go down to the arena, because that's actually where I have them at. We're going to go ahead and call one of the LGs that I've actually ordered, and you can see that I've actually done this a few times anyway, because a few of the LGs are missing. Now one is actually going to be delivered to us relatively close. We're just going to go ahead and hop into it. And then what you want to do is just drive to the MOC circle. That's why it's important that you don't necessarily have both of the circles touching, or as close as you possibly can. But you do need to have them relatively close, as that's going to be important later. What we're going to do is we're just going to drive into the MOC one. And you're going to see that we're going to be able to store this vehicle inside of the MOC. We're going to do that. And if it's already full, that's okay. It'll just be sent to a garage. So that is perfectly fine. We're going to do that. And then that means that basically this elegy is stored inside of the MOC. So we're going to go ahead and get back into the elegy. And then we're going to go ahead and exit the MOC with the vehicle. Now what you want to do is just go ahead and take out anything that you guys currently have to go ahead and blow this up. Sticky bombs, it could be RPG, basically whatever you really want to do with it is fine. Now there is a high chance that the cops are going to get called on you. If that does, you can either lose them by calling in like your CEO, like we have a wanted level finally that showed up for us, or you guys can actually just call Lester and then have the wanted level done that way. It just really depends on which way you guys have access to. We're going to remove that wanted level. Now we don't have to deal with the cops at all. Now we do have to call the mechanic back up again, but we are going to have to wait that minute, because we've actually already called them just recently to get that elegy. So there is always that factor as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to want to call in a Future Shock ISI that we've actually already or that we want to duplicate. In this case, we have to wait a little bit of time in order for it to go ahead and be requested again. And there we go. So now the Future Shock ISI will actually be relatively close, or hopefully it should be anyway. Come on, ISI, there you go. And we're just going to go ahead and make our way over to it. And then what you want to do is go into your interaction menu, so that way both of the circles actually go ahead and disappear. That'll make this a little bit easier to kind of set up. You want to kind of back in the way that I have actually done, just like this, especially if you have this specific auto shop. Now you just want to close out of the interaction menu, and you're actually going to get an alert that says auto shop is full, and then it kind of goes quiet, and then you get placed inside of the MLC just automatically, even though technically your elegy is supposed to be in here. Now what you want to do is just go ahead and exit the MLC. Now if you guys mess up the glitch at all during this entire process, it's okay. The ISI is not going to be lost. It will just be placed in wherever you originally called it from. So in this case, it was from my office garage number 2. Now what you want to do is you want to grab a fairly large vehicle. So in this area, a lot of suburban style vehicles actually get called or are in the area, and you want to get into your interaction menu right off the bat. Sometimes you're going to get wanted, sometimes those guys will come after you, just kind of depends. And you're going to want to put the vehicle the same way that you put the ISI before, and then you're just going to go ahead and exit out of the interaction menu. You're going to get the same alert, and that's going to place you inside of the MOC as well with the future shock ISI, which is awesome. It's exactly what you want to have happen. Now again, if anything goes wrong at this point in time, all you actually need to go ahead and do is just basically start over by calling in the ISI. If I was to get into this vehicle and exit, both of the vehicles would be lost. If I get into the ISI, same thing would happen. I would actually spawn outside of the MLC with no ISI, but the ISI would not be placed in here. It would go back to the place that I called it from. So what you want to do is come back to here, and what you're going to ultimately be doing is warping into the ISI. Now sometimes the ISI can actually get placed at the front of the MLC vehicle storage unit. If that happens, you're pretty much out of luck, and you kind of have to start this whole step process by calling in the ISI again and then getting another vehicle in here. But that's just kind of how it goes. So what you want to do is just go ahead and push the enter button. So in this case, Y on the Xbox, or if you're on a PlayStation, you want to go ahead and push triangle, and then go ahead and exit at the exact same time. And what it should hopefully do is warp you into the vehicle outside of the MLC. In this case, it didn't do that for me, so I want to go ahead and run back into it and basically try that over again. All right, so the second time that I did it, I was able to actually exit the MLC at the exact same time that I was actually exiting and entering the vehicle, so it glitched me out inside of it. So right now, this is a duplicated ISI. However, in order to save it, what we want to do is go into the back of the MLC, and then we're going to go ahead and enter it. And now it basically replaced the elegy with this one. And now in order to just go ahead and get this to basically start all over again, all you need to do is, if you want to basically take it to the place that you want it to be stored at, then all you have to do is go back into the MOC, grab it out, deliver it. Or what you can actually go ahead and do from this point in time is just call up your mechanic and then bring over another elegy. All right, so to basically redo this, I'm just going to go ahead and call in my elegy. I actually already delivered the duplicate over to my office garage. Grab your elegy here, and then what you're going to do is be able to go right back into the back of the MLC, and then we're going to start the entire process over again by basically getting back into this elegy and blowing it up, calling our ISI, storing it in here, going out of the MLC, and then going ahead and grabbing any NPC vehicle and then glitching it out over again. And then once I get the next one done, I will go ahead and show you. All right, so we actually got the second one. It took me a couple of attempts, but we were able to actually get it. And now at this point, what we want to do is just go ahead and place this in the back of the MLC, and it's basically going to override the elegy that just got replaced. And then what we can actually go ahead and do is take it over to the garage number 2, so you guys can go ahead and see that this is actually the second one that we've actually gone ahead and duplicated. So let me just drive over there real quick and we'll be right back. So we've made it over to the office garage, and we're currently on the garage number 1 that you guys can see in the background. And here we go, we have 2 of our ISIs, and you can see that we have a 13 still inside of garage number 2. We've got our 2 here in office garage number 1. We still have the same amount of vehicles in number 3. So this duplication glitch is working. I definitely recommend that you guys go ahead and give it a try. It's actually relatively easy. It's a little bit based on luck, but it shouldn't take very long, maybe 5 to 10 minutes per vehicle, and especially if you're going to be delivering it to a far away place like I was doing here. But if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.